skies and neon nights, controllers lit like fireflies. Old freaky gamer in the zone, level up the unknown. Game talk news, it's all a thrill, conquering worlds with skill on skill. Game on, game hard, streaming stars were never far. Game on, game hard, in this conquest we're avatars. Mr. Mike calls the plays.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, you gamers and gamettes out there. Hello, I am Mr. Mike, and you are now listening or watching the GamezAttack podcast, episode 92, as I'm calling this episode today, or this for this week, High on My Life. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. High on my life, people. Oh, yeah. Yes, and the music, I started off from the beginning this time. Yes. Well, so everybody, welcome to the GamezAttack podcast. A podcast normally known for talking about video games and the gaming industry and what I've been playing and game news and all that great stuff. And guess what we're going to kick off with today? You're probably wrong because I usually kick off with other stuff, but today we're going to kick off with something different. We're going to kick off with the Games Talk News because you know why? We got some Games Talk News to talk about, and then I'm going to finish, off the show with all my other great stuff. So why don't we get into the Games Talk News now?
Talk news, gonna set the stage alight. Mr. Mike's got the scoop, he ain't holding back. Dropping bombs on the gaming industry track. Hear the thunder, feel the roar. Game Talk News, gonna settle the score. From E3 to PAX, they got it all. The highs and lows, ready to
It's a shame there's no more E3, so that's kind of old right there. And the funny thing is, I made that during the whole E3 might be still here, might be gone phase around that time, so kind of a bummer that's gone. So E3 doesn't mean nothing nowadays. Nope, not at all. Oh, so we're kicking off with the game news today on this podcast because there's a lot of game news to get through and a lot of talk, so why not kick it off with the stuff that people like to listen to today? Like this whole Discord thing. Oh my God, people. I'm glad I'm not on Discord right now, and boy, I wonder how fast they're going to change off this policy. So we gotta deal with other countries. In the United States, we got our own little bit of problems, but other countries have bigger problems, and a lot of it is about, oh, we're worried about our kids, our teens. We gotta monitor our people more and more and more. And now, no. They're trying to do that here in this country as well, but we got something called the Constitution that keeps most of that shit at bay. But, we got slimy politicians that like to try to sneak things into our laws and bills and stuff like that, and they try to weasel shit in that shouldn't be weaseled in, so, it's kind of hard. And, the average person out there isn't... their IQ isn't as high as they used to be, so a lot of this shit gets in, and people don't really complain about it. They're more worried about little stuff like external people living here that are not documented or not paying taxes and causing various amounts of trouble. But nah, they hate when people our country's trying to take those people out. But what am I saying, so this mostly has been happening because, the UK's been really big on cracking down, and Australia as well. What's Australia, they basically banned teens and stuff from social media and all that stuff, which includes YouTube, which is, I gotta say, for Google, that's gotta suck for Google and for YouTube. But I don't know how you block them from that shit when you got parents that don't give a shit and they'll just make the accounts for their kids, and that's how the kids watch and play this stuff anyways. But anywho, yeah, it's very big in Australia, but it's really big in the UK, and they're doing it where they're not wanting teens and stuff and appropriate things on the internet, you know, social media and all that, and they want to protect the kids because you know what? Who does a better job of protecting one's kids or, you know, than the government? Or is it that the parents should wake up and get off their asses and start parenting their kids? But I don't know how. They can sneak and do everything. It's called being more active in your kids' lives. You might be busy, but you signed on to be a parent. You guys didn't pull out. So you wanted to be a parent. You got a kid, got a teen, young kid, whatever. Got to learn. If you know how to use technology and stuff, or even if you don't, maybe you should have less of it in your house. I'm sorry to say, maybe you should have it focused just on your TV. Excuse me, I got something on my glasses. It's annoying me. But like I said, if you just have one computer in your house, one phone, and one TV and stuff, you can easily do that, you know. But if you're a parent and stuff that has a lot of tech and whatever, and they got tech, you're just going to have to learn how to monitor your kids, be in your kids' lives more. Talk to your children. Talk. It's called communication. I know people don't like to communicate face-to-face anymore. I talk to people and they're always talking like this on their phones, not looking up, but looking down. And I'm looking at them. I'm like, yeah, you're looking at your device, not me. You know. That's one of those things that piss me off. But parents have to start parenting their kids. That is the main thing, the main problem that the world has. Parents, let the technology parent their kids. Come on, I am a techno geek here. I love technology. I love video games, multimedia. I love computers and TVs, tech, everything. Everything. I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. I love playing video games and stuff. And I grew up where my mom, she was busy all the time. She never really, barged into anything. I got to be fully run my whole thing. I used to go on any internet I could want to go to, any good, bad porno, whatever, this, that. I was free to run my life in the digital world. But here's the weird thing, though. For me, and I don't know if this is like for most people back in the day, I was more, I'm not going to say responsible, but I was more aware of, and this is the early days of internet, people. This is back when it was a 56K modem, and if you wanted to download a porno pic or something, it was like a size, we jokingly say it's the size of a postage stamp, but shit, it was like the size of a postage stamp, and that took like 4 minutes to download on a 56K modem, because you were getting like 32K kilobits going, meh, 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 meh. Oh, wait, pause. Meh, 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 meh. Oh, there it is. I think I can see a boobie. I think I can see something, a girl. Oh, is that Laura Croft? I can't tell. I can't tell. It looks cool. Oh, my God. But I joke about that, but that's how it was back in my day. Technology wasn't broadband and stuff. That was coming out later, and I didn't get broadband internet until, I got out of high school, and I had a job, and I told my mom, I'm like, Mom, we're getting fucking real internet. None of this dial-up crap anymore. I can pay for it. You don't have to worry about it. I'm paying for this high-speed internet. And that was back when it was like 5 megabits down and 1.5 megabits up. And that was through cable modem. And I was like, oh, this is quick. Back in that time, I was like, oh my God, that's quick. I was from dial-up to that was like... I'm like, oh, I could download bigger porno pics and stuff and watch videos and stuff. And that was when YouTube and all that was starting up a little bit bigger and faster and stuff. And then, internet got faster and faster and faster. And now we got fiber, and it's like up to gigabit speeds and stuff like that. And it's like, you kids don't understand. But anyways, I self-governed myself mostly. Now, note, I still went to shit and all that, but I understood what good and bad was on the internet and stuff. Now, I know not all kids can't or do understand, because we all got different brains, especially when we're still developing brains. In the early days, our brains are developing. And but I was always into technology when I was a little kid, so I took the time to understand it, learn. I was on social media. I did the Facebook back in the day. I did with my friends and family and stuff. And then later on, when I grew up, it was probably around the time I was like, I don't know, at the end of my first job or something. I was like, I am sick of this fucking Facebook. I was probably one of the very few early people that were like, oh, fuck this social media shit. Fuck Facebook. And I just canceled Facebook because I'm like, I don't want to keep up with these people. Okay, sure, friends, family, whatever. Delete. Yeah, that was me. I was probably one of the very early people that said fuck Facebook, fuck social media back in that time. So yeah, I can say that with pride that I just said fuck social media. Now note, I am doing a YouTube thing. I do streaming. I have a website. I do have an X.com, Twitter X account and everything else, a BlueSky account and stuff like that. And that's only just to promote my geekiness for my website and my gaming material and stuff. But overall, I don't really socialize on the internet too much. The only thing I do internet-wise is watch videos, do my podcast and my stuff, maybe look up stuff, and that's about it. Buy stuff. Otherwise, not really heavy into social media. I'll read some like news articles and stuff, but nothing really big. I'm not really big at the posting stuff unless if it's stuff that I do videos. Like when I post this podcast, I go, hey, my podcast is up. Hey, come watch or listen to it. So I'm connected, but I'm not connected. I don't get up in roars and stuff when things are going down. I don't look at shit like people do and go, oh, did you see this on YouTube or on BlueSky or this and that? And I'm like, no. And I never did get a Discord. I was thinking about it. I think I had a Discord handle like once or something. I canceled it right away because I just didn't understand. I never really got into Discord. Friends wanted me to, and I just like, no. And now I'm glad that I'm not on Discord, because now Discord is like, well, if we gotta be more proactive and we gotta follow the governments of other places, we might as well do it everywhere. Because it makes it easier if we just implement our changes everywhere instead of just doing it from country to country. And of course, Europe and EU and UK and everybody's different than what we are in the United States, because like I said, they got different laws and beliefs and a lot of stuff. So that kind of hinders over here what we think and what we accept or don't accept on the internet. So now Discord's trying to roll out this teen by default settings globally. It says next month, so that means this is written in February, so that means March. And with age verification needed to disable content filtering. So basically, they want people, when they start logging in, Discord will first begin rolling out age verification, which they did last year in United Kingdom and Australia, like I just talked about. Discord stated that new and existing users may be required to engage in age verification process starting in early March in order to access age-restricted channels, servers, and commands, whatever they deem that. So if you got M-rated material like video games and stuff, I'm sure they're going to want to have you age verify that and stuff, which could be very ridiculous. Or commands by a select message requests. This also includes the ability to unblur sensitive content and receive direct messages from unknown users. Users will be able to verify their age by submitting a form of ID to a vendor partner, because those guys are great, or by using Discord's own facial age estimation software, which I hear is horrible as well. Because why would a camera taking my picture, why would they, How could they tell what my age is by looking at me? I can say, if you look at me right now, most people say, oh, you look like a young 30 or something like that or whatever. They don't know I'm 40 almost. They look like, he could be like a young 20-something, 30, you know. But really, in estimation, I am definitely almost 40, but I look good anyways. But some users may not be prompted to have their age checked, as Discord will also use an age inference model, which automatically assumes the user's age based on their usage history. So how long they've been on Discord for, probably, and how, you know, what they look at anyways. Discord states that its age estimation technology boosts privacy protections, as your video selfie won't leave your device. As for ID documents uploaded to vendors, these are deleted quickly. Bullshit. In most cases, immediately after the age confirmation, Discord stated. That is bullshit, because what happened earlier to Discord was that when Discord admitted that the hackers, because there were some hackers that hacked into their third-party thing, gained access to images of 70,000 government IDs uploaded to the servers of a third-party vendor that had entrusted with the data following user contact with its customer service and trust and safety terms. So they have not been the best. And this was recent too. This was just months ago when this happened. And they had people starting doing that, like I said, in the EU and Europe and stuff like that. And all these government IDs have been, you know, scraped by hackers. So why would people want to trust Discord with their IDs nowadays or anything like that? And of course, like I said, their age verification picture technology does not work as intended either. And they keep saying, we do not keep any of your information. We do not have any of your information. This is just checking, blah, 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 blah. We do not keep it. And I'm like saying, and I have to say is, well, if you're not keeping any of our information and none of these third parties are keeping our information, so how does this technology work then? Does it check how many wrinkles you got in your face, like you're a damn tree or something? Does it check like my facial feature, like, oh, he's got a beard and stuff, so he must be old. He must be older or whatever. I see a little pepper in his beard, so he has to be older. But, you know, truly, you know, how does that work? And people could definitely scam the system. You know, somebody could put on like an old gray beard, put on some weird makeup and stuff and do the whole thing, make themselves look older and stuff. You know, that's easy. It's easy. And some people can hold up photos to the camera and say, hey. So this isn't the best thing. My thing would have been, well, if you really want to find out people's ages, or if you want people not looking at stuff that they shouldn't be looking at, instead of using government IDs and stuff, why don't you just use a credit card or something? Because mostly you got to be old enough to use a credit card. You got to have, you know, you got to have money. You got to use a credit card and make them pay like $1 to $5 or whatever, you know, just to credit check them on that stuff. That'd be a lot easier. And sure, kids could get their parents' credit cards and stuff, but then the parents would find out because it'd be like, why is there a $5 charge to Discord, son? What are you doing on that Discord, boy? Are you age verificationing now? Oh, I gotta whoop your ass, boy. But yeah, I would think maybe just have them do a one-time charge or something, like $1, $5. Give it to charity. Why not? for video game charity or something like that. Say, hey, this is a one-time fee. This is to verify that you are you. If you accidentally get your account deleted or you're banned or something, you're going to have to do that again or what, you know, whatever. They could, why don't they do it that way? Via a credit card. No, you're not using a government ID. You're not using stupid facial recognition bullshit. Because all that could be spoofed too, you know, and stolen. And it's more arbitrous on that. This would be a lot better because I'm sure most kids don't have credit cards. Am I wrong on that? Please let me know in the comments section on YouTube. Let me know if I'm right. I should be right on that, right? Kids don't have credit cards. At least they don't have real credit cards. Now, if they're using one of those prepaid credit cards or what are you talking about? They do have those kid-friendly cards, like Kids First Credit Card. They can always deny those. They can always say, no, these got to be your major Visa or MasterCard credit cards. These got to be like from some actual bank. Like they can say, oh, these prepaid cards don't work because I'm sure they could figure that out. Or, you know, banks and stuff put little digital traces on those kind of cards and say, hey, this is a prepaid card, blah, 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 blah. So they know when you put in the number what kind of card it is. So just don't allow people to use prepaid credit cards. They got to use an actual like Amazon or Chase or Capital One credit card. They got to use a major credit card to sign in. That would be a good way to do a somewhat age verification. It would be like, okay, this person has a major credit card, meaning they actually have jobs. They actually are, you know, not a child in a way. So why not? Because like I said, if it's not a prepaid or one of those little credit cards, one of those kid-like credit cards, they should be able to track those. I would think. You know, we got the technology, people. What? Instead of using government IDs and all this other facial recognition bullshit, why not? So I, Mr. Mike, am not going on Discord. And there is a backlash going on, as it says in this article, as a backlash to Discord's age verification grows. Company insists changes won't impact the majority of adult users. And then they keep saying, well, it depends on what you've been doing on Discord lately, blah, blah, blah. So like I said, if I was to join Discord now, I'm sure there would be some age verification thing coming up for me or something because I'm new and I haven't been on the platform for a while. But so I don't know. I think it's the wrong approach for Discord. I know Discord has been going in a somewhat different direction lately, and a lot of people were all big on Discord before, but now they're getting into the more corporate territory where they're just looking for more ways to get on the good side of every government and try to make more money and stuff. And what company wouldn't? But this used to be a service where people were just going on for talking about video games, chatting, talking about movies. You know, it was a very good service, I heard, for doing that stuff. And a lot of people, like I hear Giant Bomb uses Discord, Leo Laporte. I don't know if you know who he is. He's another podcaster, video guy. He uses Discord for a lot of his stuff. A lot of people use Discord for their Patreon stuff and all that stuff. I do not. Like I said, I don't do anything Discord. And this is just one of those major reasons why people would probably want to back away from that and go to other places. Because, you know, there's going to be more places that always pop up every day, every time, looking for, oh, Discord is screwing up. It's time we make our own Discord-like service and capitalize on it. And people will. And that's a good thing about competition, but it's also for what the government say, people's safety. It could be, you know, a runaround kind of approach. Like I said, I never use Discord. I probably won't. Because I always hear too much bullshit around Discord lately. And like I said, I'm not a big social media fan like that. Like I said, I'm very a stickler on what I consume from social media, and you know, like I said, I don't post that much. I only post what I am doing for this reason. But you know, that's how it goes. I'm not a lonely guy. I like to be alone. That's the difference between me and the rest of the world. People like to interact a lot with people. Me, I like to interact with myself. So I am very not going gung-ho, going, oh, what am I going to do? I can't use Discord anymore. I can't use Facebook. No, I just never been that kind of person. I like to face-to-face interact. Or, like I said, if I'm doing a podcast and I'm talking to myself like I am doing now, or I am doing a stream or something, that's me. And then you're watching me. And that's how I like to do stuff. So Discord isn't the only one doing their age verification bullshit. I'm sure Sony on PlayStation will eventually do it. But you know who's doing it that's been really in the weeds lately as well? Our good old friends at Microsoft. And for Xbox age restrictions roll out to the widespread issues in the UK as Microsoft states it's working to fix problems with their age verification system. Oh boy, go figure. The place that is Microsoft, Redmond, Washington, that used to be really good at doing software stuff, really has been sucking lately at software. Maybe it's that because they're using their AI tools to make this software, and they're not using their people and their brains to make software anymore. But Xbox has acknowledged widespread issues with the rollout of its enforced age verification process in the UK. Wow, I'm sorry for you UK people that have to put up with that bullshit from your government. You're already getting surveillance up the ass with all the cameras on every street corner and all that, and they're looking and tapping into your phones and internet and computers and all that, and now they want to do age verification for everything else. Man, you guys are getting squeezed tight over there. And also in Australia, because that's all I hear from mostly is Australia, UK, Australia, UK, Australia, UK. Every news story I hear about this kind of stuff is just Australia and UK are just tightening their grips on their people, man. And it's just like, Luckily, here in the United States, you know, somewhat people fight back, but there's a lot of stupidity. Like I said, there's a lot of stupidity in America here. So I can't judge too much because you never know what will happen here in the United States. But like I said, parents, parent your children. That's the only thing that has to be done, because back in the day, you know, parents actually parented their kids. Now they want technology to parent their kids, and parents don't want to parent. And it's like, so why do you want to be a parent? Now, note, if I ever met somebody, and I always say this in my general studies, if I ever met actually a decent woman that I would be engaged in enough to court and be with and have a child or children with, for me, being a big-time media gamer, technology guy, I would still be on top of that for my kids. I have the knowledge, because I was a kid using technology and stuff. I would have enough knowledge to know what would be the good, the bad, and I would be the one to know how to parent my kids like that. And I would coach up my partner on how to parent the kids on technology, media, stuff like that. And we would set boundaries and talk about it and all the other stuff and train our kids to better use technology and social media and stuff if they want to join it in a good way. So, you know, I'm ready for that. Now, I don't think I'm going to ever find that partner anytime soon. Like I said, I'm almost 40 and nope, no partner. But you never know. There might be a woman out there that might pique my interest some year, some century. I'm just not in a looking phase right now. If I bump into somebody, sure, I'll try it out. But I'm not the kind of person that goes, oh, I got to go hunt for my woman. Nah, not that. I'm done with the hunt. I'm done with the hunt. Too many letdowns and too many people that just don't want to, I can't say man up. Because it's a woman, so I got to say woman up a bit. You know, and that's my prerogative on that. I won't get into that stuff because this is a video game podcast. So apparently floods of complaints have been going on with the Xbox thing. People are unable to use apps such as Discord or Xbox voice chat in games with non-friends. An Xbox support page for the process was stating error message noting that Microsoft says it's aware of the issue and is working on a fix. People can't get onto games and play games online. There was a lot of stuff going on with that. This was happening around February 10th. So this is the, 13th now? 15th. It's the 15th. So this was 5 days ago. And like I said, I got to feel sorry for people in these countries like UK and stuff like that. And I'm sure other countries have even harsher restrictions because, like I said, a lot of people don't have our types of constitutional laws. Not that our Constitution is up to date at all, because they're very against trying to fix and update that Constitution, because that was something that we made in 1776, and who would have thought back in 1776 that we'd have the internet and all this stuff? If our founding fathers knew the future and they knew what was going to happen in the future, maybe they would have fucking did some different things onto that Constitution for a variety of things. Maybe made it more open so we can change some stuff to it and whatnot. I know people don't like that, but I don't know. Times change, and sometimes documents from an era where you barely had heat and food and stuff like that, and everybody had a gun. Even the kids had guns because they needed them, because you couldn't walk down the damn street without a freaking whatever coming at you, a freaking, I don't know, what am I, coyote, whatever, coming at you and trying to kill you. Yeah, different times. Other Xbox news: next gen Xbox 2027 launch reportedly the best case scenario following AMD hint that Microsoft may ship new hardware next year. I still think this is a bad idea. First off, we're still in the chip pricing and shortages right now, and storage shortages and price hikes now. So why would anybody, and I'm talking about Steam and that Steam machine, which, holy shit, if they release that thing sooner than later, I'm going to be very shocked and awed. I'm sure it's going to be priced up the wazooies for this semi-low-end Steam machine that's going to come out at a super ridiculous price. But trying to release a next-gen console now, that seems, I gotta say, stupid. Even Sony, and I don't know if I have this. Do I have this on here? Okay, I got something like that. But even Sony, some of their execs were saying, things might not be going so good right now in the tech sector. Maybe we'll continue to try to make games and try to keep our PS6 and 5 or PS5 and 4s. I forgot they're not at PS6 yet. PS5s and 4s going a bit longer. That's the smart move right now, and wait till technology settles down a little bit out there with, the AI bullshit and memory RAM pricing and storage pricing. All I got to say is, folks, when we get on the other side of all this bullshit, all this AI bullshit and all this RAM and storage pricing bullshit, and then when that bubble, which I keep saying and everybody else keeps saying, bursts or whatever happens, and these people stop fucking around with money they don't have, that they're just ruining their companies and they're ruining their reputations and all with this AI bullshit constantly. When it's all said and done, and then these memory and storage companies can't sell this shit, the prices are going to fall. Pricing is going to fall. And then they're going to come crawling back to people, the consumers, people like you and you and you and me. And they're going to be like, we love you, gamers. NVIDIA's going to be like, we love you. We're going to make some great graphics cards. We're going to make them cheaper. The memory is going to be cheaper. The storage is going to be cheaper. The solid state storage is going to be cheaper. We bow to you, the consumers. You buy our stuff. We should have never left you. Like they like to do. They like to be apologetic. They like to go bow to us and say, we are the best. We are the ones that support you guys, even though we left you guys because AI was paying us more money, apparently, and the circle jerk of money going around. And they're going to come back. Things are going to get really dirt cheap. Technology will get better and cheaper. And that'll be probably, like I said, 5 to 6 years from now, which that is probably going to be the best case time scenario that I, Mr. Mike, decides to build my new PC again down that road, because then this machine will be old enough to just be probably a streaming machine. I'll probably keep this computer alive, unlike just transferring stuff. I'll just build a brand new state-of-the-art computer, brand new storage and all that stuff. And this will just be a stream machine going forward. And yeah, that seems like the scenario that I'll go at, because then I'll be able to buy great solid state storage at cheap prices, a lot of RAM at cheap prices, and the technology will be there. But Microsoft's still thinking, and of course AMD's saying this too, because they're the ones wanting Microsoft and Sony to get the things out sooner than later, because then they make money off of that stuff. Because if Sony and Microsoft are not going to the next chipsets and SoCs and stuff like that, and they're still stuck on the cheaper hardware, or cheapish, I would say. I don't think anything's cheap now, but they want them to go to the next gen so they can make more money off of that stuff. And, so of course Lisa Su and AMD and stuff would say, she suggested that Microsoft's long-held plans for another Xbox generation could be as little as a year away, stating that work on its chip for the console was progressing very well to support a launch in 2027, if you can get the silicon and stuff like that. The funny thing, a new report from Windows Central has stated that Microsoft itself was a little taken off guard by the commentary from Sue, as it's still to fully commit to 2027 launch of a new Xbox consoles internally. From a product standpoint, Valve is on track to begin shipping its AMD-powered Steam machine earlier this year. If they do, you never know. They might push that puppy back a bit more, because if RAM and storage is super expensive, how many of those Steam machine boxes are they going to sell? I'm sure people will buy it, because people will always buy stuff, but still. The development of Microsoft's next Xbox, or next gen Xbox featuring AMD semi-custom SoC, is progressing well to support its launch in 2027. And this was all at the AMD's latest financial results briefing. She's trying to gussy up the reports to shareholders and stuff, say, hey, we got a lot of stuff in the works here at AMD, folks. Yeah, you just keep pouring more money into us. And, we're doing AI, but we're still doing all this other stuff here. So we got money going to be coming in. I would think Microsoft should be doing the Sony approach and just wait it out. First off, they're not selling any consoles right now. They're not in the good graces of gamers. So they don't have to rush anything out. And they got to focus more on Windows right now, and the combining of Windows and Xbox a bit more, so we can start playing like we all want as gamers, as Xbox gamers. We want to play those Xbox games. Our digital, I should say digital, because people like to say Xbox games like we think we can pop in an Xbox disc into our disk drives. If your computer still has a disk drive, mine does, because I rip Blu-rays and stuff, but people think, we're going to be able to pop in our discs into our disk drives and play Xbox games on our computers. No, I'm talking about our digital Xbox library with the Xbox APIs to be able to be played in a Windows software scenario, which I'm sure they could do if they put it in a package, whatever, and you can play within that package and, do some stuff, do some Xbox, like make an Xbox series like software and put it as overlay to Windows or something like that, or inside of Windows, build it into the Windows or a next generation of Windows for Windows 12 or something, because I'm still waiting to see or hear anything about Windows 12, because that should be coming up sooner than later. If Microsoft was still Microsoft, that is. But if it is, if that's what they're kind of working on now, bringing that Xbox software base to Windows, being able to play digital games, then we can play those digital titles of our Xbox games on a PC or a handheld or something like our Xbox ROG Ally X or something like that, doing it in software like an emulation package engine or something like that. I think it could be done. I think it could be done because it is Microsoft that built that technology for their games anyways for Xboxes. And why couldn't they just, of course they're going to have to lock it down because they don't want people ripping off games and media and stuff, but lock it down a little bit just for the Xbox portion of the software. Being able to be played on a Windows PC, that would be the best thing. That would be like, hey guys, we got this working. Remember, we're making a next-gen console that's going to be running where you can play your Windows PC games or Xbox games, and you can download games from any storefront and stuff like they're trying to do as well, or they're planning on doing. And then, like Epic, they're already saying, hey, we're going to be the first to be on the Xbox next with our Epic store because they want money and they're working on a nice partnership with Microsoft. So think about it. If you can get these native Xbox games to work and run on a PC and stuff, that would be great. That'd be great. I would be like, oh my God, Microsoft did it. Then Sony would be like, oh shit, we don't do that shit. And Nintendo definitely doesn't do any of that shit. Microsoft would be in better graces with people because they'd be like, hey, we bridged the gap. The next gen console is going to be expensive because it's going to be more PC-like, but guess what? You could play those Xbox games on your PC, or if you just got your own PC at home and you don't want to buy our custom rigs and stuff or custom console rigs, fine. Play them from your PCs at home or your Xbox ROG Allies and stuff like that, and there you go. That would be great. That would be a great thing to do. I still pray for a day like that. Will it ever come? I don't know. All this AI bullshit and stuff like that, unless if they can maybe use that AI technology to do it. Come on, Microsoft. You saying your AI technology is good and not a bunch of slop. Prove it. Make that AI to calculate how to get these Xbox games working on a PC, and then you got something. Then you can tell, look, see what our AI did. See what it does. And it can't be streaming or something either. Sure, you can use your streaming services and all that back end stuff, but you got to have it so it's native, so somebody can just install a game, like an Xbox game, onto their PC or handheld, and then they can just launch it there and play it. That's what it's got to do. Not something always in the cloud and all that. And another thing that I say that you have to start doing, because they're not doing it, and that's what on my wish list, on Mr. Mike's Xbox Christmas wish list for Xbox on PC has to go, or just Xbox in general, everything, but mostly for Xbox for PC. If you're going to allow people like third parties to sell their software on your storefront for games and stuff, like the Epic Store, the Ubisoft Store, Rockstar, blah, 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 because we're buying it from your Xbox store and it's going to be an Xbox-like game or PC game, you got to get these companies to put achievements in there so I can get my Xbox fucking achievements from these games. That's why I don't buy these games on the store, because first off, you got to download the Epic client, or you got to download the Ubisoft client and all this stuff, and those games don't give you achievements. So what's the big point? So I don't buy those games. So when Ubisoft had, like I said, they had the Assassin's Creed Shadows that I could have bought and played natively on my PC through the Xbox store. But then when I found out that it didn't have achievements to it, I'm like, well, I'm not buying this game because I can't get achievements for it. And that's the whole thing about Xbox and me, is achievements. I don't know if I'm a lone warrior on this, but that's something that bothers me to great lengths, especially when they're coming in the future, coming off a next-gen console and they're opening up that storefront. more reasons for so they don't get sued like Google and Apple when they have the closed ecosystems, and what Sony and Nintendo are going to have to go through eventually, because if Microsoft's open up their storefront and stuff for other storefronts to come on there, like the Epic Store, this store, and that store, they got to at least do something like, hey, if you're going to be publishing your games through your own storefronts, and they're going to be bought through our Xbox store, you got to allow our people to be able to get achievements from your games, like they would do if they got it from a native Xbox game or something like that. Or else you might as well just get rid of Xbox achievements in general, because it's nonsense to play a game and not get achievements. It's just like if you're playing a PlayStation game, you're not getting PlayStation trophies. That would be horrible. And that's something I don't ever hear them talk about or what they think about. So like I said, this whole 2027, maybe Xbox next gen launch, they can tease it. They can tease it in the summer and say, hey, this is what we're working on. This is going to be a next gen Xbox, but tell them it won't come out until 2028 or something, you know? That would be stupid if they brought it out earlier than later. This ain't whoever comes out first type of game now. It's like, who's going to have the best prices and the best availability? That's what it's going to be going forward. And then we got this stupid news story that I saw here. It's a rumored story that the PlayStation 6 could feature 30 gigabytes of GDDR7 memory with a massive bandwidth boost. The PlayStation 6 handheld may also feature 24 gigabytes of RAM. Oh, fuck. That's going to be an expensive PlayStation 6 and handheld. Now, no, I forgot what did mine have? Mine had 24, right? Gigabytes, 24 in my Xbox ROG Ally X, which is awesome. I'm going to say it's awesome if they put a lot more RAM in these things, because, yeah, the PS5 has 16 gigabytes of GDDR6. But imagine 30 gigabytes of GDDR7 next-gen RAM in a gaming machine. That would be not only super expensive, but that would be pretty good for running games. I don't know what games are going to utilize all that shit, but there's going to be very few that utilize all that shit. But if that's true, that's going to be a really expensive machines. Especially with memory prices now, and hence why they would push these machines back to 2028 or beyond, because damn, that would be a lot of money for if you wanted to buy a PlayStation 6 and a PlayStation 6 handheld. Whew. If you had 24 gigs of RAM in that, 30 gigs of RAM. Now, like I said, I would be all for that, because you're saying you want this to be more PC-like, but like I always said, and I say this now and I say this for the future, what does the PlayStation 5 offer or the PlayStation 5 Pro offer right now for gamers? What games are coming out from Sony? There's very few games. They're showing a lot of games. Like, we'll talk about the PlayStation Direct that just happened from them, their PlayStation stuff Direct that they had. But what else do they got? They keep saying Wolverine. They keep saying this one other game, that sci-fi game that's who's working on Insomniac? Is it Insomniac or is it somebody else? I keep forgetting, because I don't really, like I said, I don't really play the PlayStation stuff unless if it comes out on Steam. And even though I did buy a couple PlayStation games for Steam, I still haven't played them. I got to play those games because I do want to play the Ratchet and Clank and stuff like that. But still, what do they got that they're not like they used to be? Sony and PlayStation used to be, where they would come up with a ton of great AAA, Sony Studios titles and stuff like that, and I would be like buying them and playing them and having so much fun. And now it's just like, woo, all these open stuff and multiplayer bullshit and gotcha money things. I don't know. It's just not something that I want to see. And that's why I don't play on PlayStation anymore. It's not that I hate PlayStation, folks. Even though I don't do many news stories or anything on Sony unless if something really comes out from them. It's just there's nothing that interests me about Sony and PlayStation anymore, And you could say, well, they got Helldivers, but that's on everything. You got, like I said, the Wolverine game. We haven't really seen much about that at all. It hasn't been in this PlayStation State of Play or anything. I can tell you that. And what else are they offering you guys for games? At least on the Xbox side, there's games coming out. It might not always be the games that you want to play, and they're not always the well-optimized, blah, blah, blah. But I just beat Outer Worlds 2. I thought that was pretty decent. I'm playing High on Life 2. That's not an Xbox thing, but that's just on their Xbox. That's not even a Microsoft thing, so I shouldn't even say that. But, you know, they had a lot of other great titles. They had The Vowed. They had... I'm trying to think. Keeper, I played that. That was a smaller little awesome title. That had the South of Midnight. They have a bunch of other games coming out soon. They got Fable, this, that's this, all this year. They got a lot of stuff. But Sony side, I don't really see much. It's kind of sad. And like I said, most of the games that you're getting over there are from Microsoft Studios. I don't want to tout it, but that's what's happening. So I don't know. I don't know what else to say on this. I'll skip this story because I don't really care. It's this next story is more Xbox making the jump to Windows on ARM, but yeah, Windows on ARM based chips. I'm looking forward to a day when ARM powers the next generation of computers and handhelds and stuff like that, because I see a lot of potential. I see a lot of potential in ARM stuff. Like I said, I got a phone that uses that Snapdragon next gen chip in it, and it's quick as shit. Quick as shit. I can see that for gaming and stuff and PCs for next down the road instead of x86 processors. I can see it, but Microsoft's got to do more for that. This one's interesting. Overwatch 2 is just now Overwatch and probably going to be forever, so they don't piss off the Overwatch fan base. I don't know how big the fan base is, but Tracer and all them are going to just be it's going to be just Overwatch now. And they reconfigured it, and it's just Overwatch. They dropped the 2, continually just calling it Overwatch. They'll just keep updating that game and making it better and stuff like that. The change also means there won't be an Overwatch 3. And I never played Overwatch yet. And a lot of people said they started playing Overwatch or tried out Overwatch, especially after all this new updates to it and dropping the 2 and, you know, making Overwatch just Overwatch again. And I guess people are having fun. And I'm thinking maybe one day, maybe I should just play a little bit of Overwatch. I don't know. That might be something, because I do like Tracer. She is a hottie in those goggles there, I gotta say. There's a lot of Tracer porn out there, let's just say. I see a lot of Tracer porn out there, so why not play some Overwatch? I don't know. I think Overwatch seems like a good game, and it's free. You know, it's free to play. Like I said, I got it on Game Pass. It's an Xbox. It's an Xbox title. You know, it's from Blizzard Entertainment there, so maybe Activision Blizzard title. So maybe I should try out some Overwatch. Try it out for once. I don't know. Give it a little try. I'm not big on the multiplayer games or anything like that, but I don't know. Maybe this could be something like, maybe Overwatch could be my, I'm trying to think of the name of that. Shoot. What was the name of that Valve game that I loved playing, that multiplayer game? And I know a lot of you are going to tout me and say, oh, it's that. Team Fortress. Team Fortress? Is that what I was talking about? Team Fortress 2? That's the correct name for it, right? You know what I could do? I can look it up. Is it Team Fortress? Team Fortress 2. Yes, Team Fortress 2. Yes, I did love playing Team Fortress 2 and stuff like that. I always felt like that was a fun game. And I wonder if Overwatch is more like that, because I would get into that. Plus, you get achievements for that. And I'm not just saying that because it's just me, but I'm very much interested in a Team Fortress-like game again. Because I used to love playing Team Fortress. I never talked to anybody. It was fun and stupid. And I keep looking at Overwatch and I keep seeing people playing it. I'm like, it's got a lot of Team Fortress-like things in it. And if I just want to be a healer, if I just want to shoot around and fuck shit up, it seems like that. So I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna try to get into some Overwatch. I know Team Fortress is out there and people are playing it, but I'm thinking I want to go and try some Overwatch. So maybe it won't be this week for sure, but maybe next week. Maybe next week. Maybe I'll try out some Overwatch. It's maybe about time that I try out some Overwatch. And if I don't like it, big deal. I didn't pay for it. It didn't cost me any of my money. So, if I don't like it, I don't have to keep playing it. So maybe. So let's be on the lookout that Mr. Mike, if I remember, maybe I'll play some team. I keep saying Team Fortress now. Some Overwatch. We'll see. Okay, so now I've been getting, and even though I love my Xbox ROG LAX and I love my Series X, I love my Xbox experience and stuff like that. Sometimes you gotta even say the bad things about them. And I'm you know what? Even though I'm an Xbox fanboy, purely Xbox fanboy, not a Microsoft fanboy anymore, but an Xbox fanboy, because I do love my Xbox gaming and such, because I keep touting about how good I feel still playing my games from Xbox and Xbox on PC and all that stuff. And that's what I majorly play my games from. I will say the negative stuff about stuff. Now, no, Asus isn't a part of Microsoft. They're their own company. And I do love my Asus hardware and technology and stuff like that. And I'm always saying, oh, my Xbox ROG LAX, my Xbox ROG LAX is amazing, blah, 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 But I will also tell you the negatives about it. Like, it still has the creaky plastic and all that stuff. And there's some weird things that happen. Like, if I want to charge it, sometimes it doesn't want to charge. And I don't know if that's just a USB plug issue, with a USB-C plug issue I've been having. And it's only a little bit. It's like it'll like burr, not work right. And I got to take it out, blow it out a little bit. Maybe there's some dust there. I'll plug it back in and it'll charge normally and whatnot. But I've been getting rumors, and there's been rumors, and this is on Windows Central, this article. So it's more realistic. Now, no, my Xbox ROG LAX still works and runs fine. It plays all my games. And like I said, I have my little glitches here and there. And I have the plastic is a little creaky, which I can understand if people don't like that. It doesn't feel solid in the hand. That's something that is an Asus problem. And they should definitely go to their partners that build these things and say, hey, why is this all creaky? And I think mine can just be more creaky because I opened it up and put in a bigger drive in there. So, things could be a little tighter when it gets closed up, so who knows. But apparently, people's Xbox ROG LAXs are broken, and like a lot of them. And Asus admits it's experiencing high repair volumes on Xbox ROG LAXs. This one person on Windows Central stated, after 5 months of use, I'm having to go through an RMA process, and Asus messages don't fill me with confidence because they're not really good at getting things repaired. And nowadays, I'm sure it's a lot harder to get things RMA'd and repaired and brought back. So apparently, this person's Xbox ROG LAX is dead. Long live Xbox ROG LAX. This person's trying to make an article out of it. Let's see here. They're from Britain. They're from Britain, the UK. They spent $1,095 on it. The device in September 2025, only for it to very randomly give up the ghost. I'm sharing this because my customer service experience so far hasn't exactly filled me with confidence, and poor customer service is something Asus has become notorious for in the past. That's another big thing about companies nowadays, horrible customer service. And trust me, it's not just Asus, it's a lot of people. It doesn't matter if it's your good old Amazon or it's your definitely eBay, I gotta say, and a bunch of other people that just have non-existent customer service. And then when they add that AI customer service to the bullshit, that they don't have customer service. That just makes things worse. And it makes people more pissed off, and it makes people more likely not to purchase or do anything with these companies. Let's see here. So apparently this person had their Xbox Raw Gallery X dying. Let's see here. So apparently this person couldn't get their Xbox Raw Gallery X to charge. Thinking the charger might be the culprit, he tested his phone. The charger worked totally fine. No LED indicator, so there's something maybe wrong on the board of the ROG LAX or something. I don't know. Unfortunately, this isn't the first time the ally stalled on him, blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to look through this very quickly. I didn't really read through this, but apparently a lot of people are going through similar things about the ROG LAXs not working correctly or breaking or blah, 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 blah. Like I said, knock on fake wood. Knock on wood. Knock on wood here. Mine has been working, and my original ROG LAX was working fine as well. Now, let's see here. I'm just looking at other stuff. No, this is great pod. There's nothing really here. They're just talking about their experience with Asus and the RMA and stuff like that. Receive repairs. We'll have an estimated completion date of 20th of February. But appreciate up the updates. Will the ROG be repaired? Will it be replaced? Will I ever recover my Stardew farm? Blah, blah, blah. Well, you should have that shit backed up, too. At least they're repairing it, and they're not giving you any trouble with repairing it. That's what I got to say about Asus. And a couple other comments on here are saying, well, mine runs perfectly. Wait, dang. What this person says, dang, that sucks. I'm already on my second unit after my first unit suffered an SSD failure within 24 hours of receiving it. Asus UK were really good at arranging a return and eventual replacement. Yeah, but that's just the SSD. But if you just got it and you could get it, swapped out, that's great. But if you have a unit and your SSD just fails and you can't get it RMA'd or anything anymore, you can just pop in a brand new SSD into that thing and just reload it. Let's see here. Yeah, not 90% plugged in 100% of the time, and as for I'm just looking at a bunch of comments here. I know this is bad pod and bad thing, but let's just say there's been a higher amount of problems with the Xbox ROG Allies recently, with the X versions, the Xbox ROG Allies, and understandably, these are devices, and I'm looking at the inside because somebody has one opened up in the back here. I haven't seen mine in a long time, but that plastic is so thin looking. They could have had it thickened up a little bit. I can see inside there, but and I wish the plastic was a little thicker inside, but otherwise, I haven't really had any major issues except for the power thing so far. And like I said, it still charges. It's charging right now. It's done charging. And I mostly use it plugged in anyways for my unit. Yeah, you're just going to be on the lookout for that stuff. And like I said, my first one never had any big problems. This one's never had any big problems for me, at least not yet. So I've been pretty lucky as well. Like I said, knock on fake wood again. But we'll be on the lookout if any new news stories come upon it. Because like I said, I love my Xbox ROG Ally X. It's a great upgrade from my original ROG Ally Extreme 1 chip and all that stuff. This thing is above and beyond, and it's cheaper, still cheaper than most of those other brands, like from Lenovo and people out there, even though it's expensive as hell if you try to get the ROG Ally X, like I keep telling people, just if you're going to get this Xbox ROG Ally X, you got to get the Xbox ROG Ally X. You can't get just the Xbox ROG Ally. You got to get the X version. You're paying a lot more. You're paying like $1,000, but you're getting more power out of it. You're getting a lot more stuff out of it. And it is still well worth the money compared to other devices out there. Because other devices don't, at least Asus is backing up their product, and there's still like always tons of updates, always tons of great stuff. They always tweaking stuff to make things work better. And I just got to say, I've been still happy with my stuff. Now, if eventually my ROG Ally dies or something, I'll let you guys know about that. But so far, so good. But I'm just letting you guys know from the news articles that there's something might be going on. I don't know. But that happens because nowadays things are made quicker, and they're not quality checking anything in China and other countries. Because remember, all these are made in South Korea, in China and India and stuff like that. They're Vietnam, stuff like that. They're not the biggest on quality control for stuff like that, especially nowadays when it's like, you got to make these faster, and they're just going, you know, so be lucky that our shit works as well as it does nowadays and lasts as long as it does nowadays, because we're in a world where anything can happen. And with the way things are going nowadays, I'm surprised anything works. Don't want to be a bummer, but that's just the way it is. So Rayman creator discusses the Rayman remake Ubisoft has yet to announce. It hasn't been cut or canceled. But it is, I guess, in the works or something. Ansel discussed the secret project, confirming that rather than a remaster that simply presents the same game with slightly snazzier visuals, the re-release, with Ansel calls a remake, will also address some of the original platform's pain points, including additional checkpoints to make it a bit less frustrating. I think Rayman is still a fun game, and there's a lot of content, Ansel said in an interview. Rayman merchandise, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Pacing a bit slow. Let's see here. So apparently there's an unspecified remake / remaster of Rayman. It's going to be in HD, and it hasn't been announced yet. I don't think. Maybe it's been announced on the Sony State of Play. We'll find that out, because there's a lot of games I did not look at on the Sony State of Play because I didn't watch it. I read some of the stuff, but I didn't watch it. So, also there's supposed to be Assassin's Creed Black Flag remaster that we're also wondering if that's going to be coming out or whatever. But yeah, we'll be on the lookout. I do like me some Rayman. It's been a long time since we got some good Rayman. And I wouldn't mind them remaking the 1995 Rayman and bringing it, HDify it and make it new again for the masses. I would like a good Rayman. I liked playing Rayman and all that stuff. Rayman's fun. Rayman's always been fun. Sega writes off $200 million following the Angry Birds maker acquisition. So Sega has written off $200 million of its $776 million acquisition of Angry Birds maker Rovio, stating that the profitability of the mobile business had fallen below the initial forecast. Oh, go figure. People just don't want to spend so much money on their mobile shit anymore? Oh. Sega confirmed back in April 2023 plans to purchase Angry Birds developer Rovio for $776 million. That's a lot of money for just a small little, for Angry Birds. With Rovio's mobile game expertise intended to help boost Sega's own position in the mobile market, like they always do. Instead of trying to create their own, they always go to these other places. Because, of course, it's easier for people, but does that mean if they follow in your same what should I say, your same beliefs and stuff in the company? I don't know. Rovio found it difficult to advance its initially planned business development, and profitability of the business has fallen below its initial forecast. Sega admitted because the recoverable amount related to the buyout fell significantly short, the company has written off $198 million, essentially downgrading the value of Rovio to around $578 million, $200 million less than it paid for it. Rovio is just one of the companies Sega owns. It also is the home for Company of Heroes developer Relic Entertainment, 2 Point Campus developer 2 Point Studios, and perhaps notably Atlas, the Persona developer, and a bunch of others. Angry Birds. When's the last time we saw a new Angry Birds game or anything? I know they're still selling the old Angry Birds games and stuff. I used to play Angry Birds a lot. I used to play those games. Those were fun. Those are fun games. Haven't seen a new one for a while, like a lot of things. And if Sega felt like they needed to spend almost close to $1 billion on little Rovio for Angry Birds, okay. Because, all these companies think, oh, we're going to make all our money on mobile gaming and stuff, and that these mobile game people are going to pay us boatloads of cash, and we can figure out microtransactions and stuff and like that, and that's where all the gaming is. And then they find out, no, it's maybe not as much as we thought it was, and there's particular ways people make money on mobile games and stuff, and you can't just put a big game and stuff on there or whatever, or try to keep milking franchises, because eventually franchises get milked out. It happens all the time, but they learn the hard way down the road. You know what I'm looking forward to this summer, and I will be pre-ordering these, even though I won't be buying Resident Evil Requiem anytime soon. I don't know if I'll ever play that game. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I still haven't played the other Resident Evil games that I just purchased for the PC before. Eventually I will. I'll try them out when I get the mods on them and stuff like that and see what mods are for them. But yeah, there's going to be a Leon S. Kennedy amiibo and what's her name? Grace Ashcroft. Yeah. There's going to be a Grace Ashcroft and Leon S. Kennedy amiibo. Let's see here. Which are going to be coming out in the summer of 2026. Now, note, like I said, I don't play any of the games. I do like the media. I do like the movies, the animated movies. I did like the Mila Jovovich movies, if you like them or not. I do like Leon S. Kennedy, and Grace, she looks pretty good too in her amiibo. And I might pre-order these amiibos. I know they're going to be like $30 a piece, but I'll probably be pre-ordering me some of these amiibos just because I can own them. And I do like Leon S. Kennedy. Watching him in the movies and stuff, he was pretty good. And like I said, Grace seems to be badass herself. She looks good as an amiibo. They're coming out this summer. That's all I got right now. I don't think they're available for pre-order yet. It's just something that Nintendo has talked about, but I haven't seen any pre-orders yet for them. I will let everybody know when they're available for pre-order, because I am crazy to buy stuff like that. I still get some collectibles. Talking about collectibles, this other collectible that I really want to get, but it's really expensive, and I don't know how much of a pervert that makes me, but I am a Lara Croft pervert. I'm sure a lot of us are. And apparently there's a Lara Croft rides proudly in a new Tomb Raider motorbike statue from Dark Horse Direct and Crystal Dynamics, teaming up for another Tomb Raider statue, and it's one that will appeal to anybody with nostalgia for the original games, which I am. And it's Lara Croft with her big bosoms, of course, because of course they got to have the big bosoms. And she's sitting all sexy like on the side of her motorcycle with her machine gun pistol up and stuff like that. And it looks pretty good as a little statue. As a nice statue. The statue is 9 inches tall, atop a base that measures 10.3 inches by 6 inches. The statue is exclusive to the Dark Horse Direct website and is limited to 500 units worldwide. But note the older statue, because I went to the website, it showed it. It's still up for pre-order as I am speaking. So I'm guessing they did not sell through 500 of these statues. They also have the older Tomb Raider statue available as well, which looked pretty good. This statue, this Tomb Raider Lara Croft Classic Motorbike Premium statue, is priced at $250. 250 big ones, and is slated to ship between July and September 2026. So that's a big time frame between when they ship. It's a classic motorbike, features the iconic treasure hunter perched atop her motorcycle with gun in hand. The statue was sculpted by Big Shot Toy Works and prototyping and paint by J.W. Productions. I guess those are big toy-like companies that make good paint and sculpture-like things. I really might want this statue, folks, but I'm looking at this. Let's see here. I don't know. I do like Lara Croft. I do like my Tomb Raider games when they're good, and makes me want to get this statue. I don't know. I'm looking at it, I'm like, a classic Lara Croft statue. I don't have a Lara Croft statue or anything. I have a Chun-Li statue. But I don't got a Lara Croft statue. And she looks good on that motorbike, and that motorbike looks pretty good. They did a good job of doing a Lara Croft. I don't know. We'll see. I'm making money, but sometimes you got to save money too. And my space is limited in my house. And how many fucking shitty statues and collectibles, at least the Amiibo, I can hang up on my wall. So if they made like a Lara Croft sit on her bike like they did with Samus here on her motorbike, and I could just hang it on my wall, a lot easier. But this is a big statue. And people would question me like, why do you got that Lara Croft chick sitting on a motorbike on a statue? You pervert. Hey, whatever. I'm a gaming pervert. I admit it. Yeah. So there you have it, folks. That was the Gamez News, folks. That was the Gamez News. That's what I do every time I see Lara Croft. Oh man. But it's a good statue. If you're into video games, like I said, if they had more gaming statues again out there, good ones, I would get them. Like I said, $250, it's expensive, but it still seems like something I would get because, you know, a lot of the gaming statues I would usually get are with the games back when they used to give you, like, sell you games with collector's editions with statues and stuff. And not all the statues were always good. Some were, but not all were good. And there were more plasticky, and those were like $250 something. So $250 for what I think for a Lara Croft statue like this that is limited edition. I don't know. You never know. Maybe I'll pre-order one. I don't know. I'll just wait and see. If I think about it, like I'll give it another month or something. If I decide I want to get this and it is still available, I'll get it. If it's sold out, that's how I like to do things. Like if I want to pre-order something or buy something, I'm like, if it's limited or not, if I could still get it like the next month or something, in the beginning of the next month, and it's still available, I will buy it or pre-order or buy it. If it's not, that means it's not meant to be. So that's how I judge myself on purchases, like big purchases like this. And we'll wait and see. Before we get into the PlayStation State of Play of February 2026 here, which I think I got in my show notes. I forgot if I put this in my show notes. Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. Before I get into that, I did purchase some other things that cost me a little bit of money. I'll be right back. It's right behind me. Yeah, because I am, like I said, crazy. And you can comment on whatever you want with me, but I got these two little guys here. Comment on whatever you think I am. I got Mr. Goomba here, a nice little plush Mr. Goomba. I always wanted a Mr. Goomba plush. I wanted a Mario plush too, but they didn't have any Mario plushes. And this little guy, I'm sure you guys all know who he is. And if you don't know who he is, you definitely aren't living in this gaming world, but it's Pikachu. It's a Squishmallow. My very first Squishmallow. The very popular Squishmallow line. He was on sale for $24 on Amazon. I wanted Togepi. Now, mind you, I do like myself a Togepi or a Charmander or a Charizard, but they didn't have Charmander or Charizard. They had Togepi, but they wanted $55 for fucking Togepi. $55 fucking dollars for Togepi. That was outrageous. So I said, well, Pikachu's only $24. How the hell that happened? I don't know. I bought him. $24 and I got myself a little Squishmallow Pikachu. As you can see, sort of in my broken video here. It's got the nice little tail. I kept the thing. Yep, but I got myself some Squishmallow. He's not a Squishmallow. He's just a plush, a Super Mario official plush toy. But you'd probably ask yourself, why, Mr. Mike, did you get some stupid plush toys for, well, like as I am, I like certain video games. I do like some Nintendo characters and stuff. Like I do like my Goombas. I like my Pikachus. And I got a couch and I wanted to put some, cool, like plushy toy, like pillow, like things on my couch. So I said, why not these guys? So, yeah. Shameless plug and shameless basically purchase for myself. Here, now you guys can sit up here. Don't fall over. Oh shit, they're falling over. Oh man. Hold on. I gotta put them somewhere else. They don't like sitting on stuff like this. I'll be right back. I can tell you this, folks. My adult friends, when they come over here to my house, they're gonna be looking at those on the couch and go, Mr. Mike, why do you got fucking plush toys on your couch? I'll be like, they're the Asians. No, I'm going to be like, they're mine. And then they'll be judging me. And I'll be like, hey, a manly man can have whatever a manly man can have, as a gamer. Shit, I would love to have a Lara Croft or a Chun-Li plush toy on my couch, but they don't make those, at least that I know of. I haven't seen a Chun-Li or a Lara Croft plush toy for the couch, so I can't have those. So, why not these? Shameless as I am. Now let's get into the PlayStation State of Play that happened over the week and all the announcements for games and such that happened. They had this one guy, the Kratos guy on there. He was finishing up the show, announcing that the God of War, remasters through 1 through 3 are happening. And I'm like, that's what you need, Sony. That's what you need. And I hope they come to Steam eventually, sooner than later, because like I said, even if these games eventually come, because they didn't announce when these games are coming, they said they're in development, so it could take a little while. But if these games come out for PC right away for Steam, I will buy them. Sony, I will pay you $70 if you bring these out on Steam right away, and I will play. Or better yet, if you decide to put some of your games on an Xbox someday or something, I'd definitely buy those on an Xbox. God of Wars 1 through 3 on Xbox or PC. Come on. But they had the guy, the voice for Kratos. He was talking. He was very happy. He's an older black guy. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Kratos was a black guy. It was pretty interesting because I'm like, you were the original Kratos? I'm like, I thought it was some Australian like dude or something from somebody else, somewhere else, some bodybuilder type of guy. It was this dude. And he's like, he's all cool and stuff. He's like, man, I can't wait to be Kratos again and do this whole Kratos thing. And I'm happy that Sony wanted me to come here. PlayStation wanted me here to talk about the God of Wars 1 through 3, remaster, remakes coming. Oh, man, I love doing the voice of that. And I'm like, well, I loved you doing the voice of that. And I'm like, well, if he's happy about this whole project, I'm going to be happy too. So I'm just going to ramble off the games and what they talked about the games on the State of Play. So they talked about Kenna, Scars of Cosmora. Cosmora? Is that what it is? Scars of Cosmora. Ember Lab kicked off the State of Play with the debut of Kenna, Scars of Cosmora, a follow-up to 2021's Bridge of Spirits. The debut trailer included a look at raw gameplay, and with combat and traversal specifically featured. Scars of Cosmora is coming to PlayStation 5 and PC in 2026. Oh, so it's coming for both PS5 and PC. So that's good that they're bringing it to PC as well, because they know not everybody's going to be buying PlayStation, so they got to make some money elsewhere, and elsewhere would be PC. Ghost of Yotai Legends, the first expansion to 2025's Ghost of Yotai came next with a new look at its 4-player co-op gameplay and demonic versions of the base game's Yotai 6. The DLC launches on March 10th as a free download for owners of the game. There you go, guys. You can play some Ghost of Yotai for free for the DLC if you own the game. Death Stranding 2 on the beach, confirming the Death Stranding 2's PC port with upscaled and frame generation, DualSense support, and more. The PC version launches on March 19th of Death Stranding 2 on the beach. So if you people were really big in Death Stranding 2 on the beach, which I know a couple of Nextlanders that probably want to play this on PC, well, here you go. It's coming to PC. That seems pretty quick. But it is coming out on PC. Did it come out on Xbox as well, or no? Is that maybe a later thing? I forgot I know the first one's on Xbox and stuff like that, but did the second one come out on Xbox? Let me double check here. Let's see here. Death Stranding 2 Xbox. Oop, I put XOXO box. Xbox. Not coming to Xbox at this time. Okay. It's only a PlayStation 5 exclusive and soon to be PC. Okay. Okay. Understandable. So, guys, there you go. You get to get some more Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding on PC. The next game, Loop. Mike Booth from Bad Robot Games is featured next, where he introduced new gameplay for Loop, a co-op action roguelite where groups of 4 choose missions based on multi-branching grid called the Probability Map. A playtest was also confirmed for the near future. So a multiplayer shooter? I don't know. I'm looking at this picture here. It looks weird, but I don't know. Next up, this one that everybody's been talking about a lot of. Pragmata, a new story trailer for Capcom's Pragmata, which is coming on basically everything, came out next, showing off some derelict city we saw way back in the game's first trailer in 2020. Pragmata was previously confirmed for launch on April 24th, but a playable demo is available now on basically everything this game is coming out on, which I think is mostly everything. It's with the little girl on the robot dad's back game. Showed off more Resident Evil Requiem for the Capcom trailer for Resident Evil Requiem with Leon and Grace and stuff. Raku's City Police Department, which Leon will apparently return to the next game as Leon, the daddy Leon, with his crazy hair. Legacy of Kain Defiance Remastered. A new remaster of the final chapter of the Legacy of Kain series is coming to PS4 5 on March 3rd. The first reveal trailer showed off some of the remastered gameplay as well as confirmation of levels from the canceled sequel. Dead or Alive. I'm very excited about this because I do like my fighting games, and I definitely do like the Dead or Alive games, if you like them or not. A new update to the latest Dead or Alive game, Dead or Alive 6 Last Round, was revealed next. The updated version will include a photo mode, upscaled visuals, and free-to-play version for those who wish to try it. The updated Dead or Alive 6 launches on June 25th. Afterward, a short teaser for the new Dead or Alive project coming in celebration of the series' 30th anniversary showcased Ryu Hayabusa taking on an unarmed female warrior, or an unnamed female warrior. So there's a new Dead or Alive project being worked on. This is Dead or Alive last round, which I basically own. I didn't know that. It's hard to tell nowadays because they had so many of these Dead or Alives, and it's like, oh, is this the new one? No, this is just updated stuff. So if you haven't played it, but they say a new Dead or Alive game is in the works, so I'll be ready for that sucker. You know what I'm also waiting for to get announced officially? A new Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts game is okay, but no. A Soul Calibur. Where's my new Soul Calibur? I heard rumors that there was a new Soul Calibur game being worked on. Where? I don't know. Control Resonant. Remedy Entertainment took control of the state of play next with a new look of Control Resonant. More of the game's melee-focused combat was shown off, as well as a look at the new interesting locals within the alternate version of New York City and what seemed like a boss fight. Didn't like Control, folks. I'm sorry to say I did not like Control, the Control game. I know a lot of you love that game, and fine by you guys. I didn't like it. I didn't get into the story. I didn't like it. I fell off it. I tried to like it. I tried to play. I just did not get into it. That was something I just really did not get into. But this one, maybe it'll be a bit different. Who knows? Crimson Moon. Next up was a debut of Crimson Moon, probably Monsters. It's a third-person action game where players take on a role of a half-man, half-angel knight tasked with fighting horrific demons. Crimson Moon is set to release later in 2026. Okay, it looks like a giant knight thing with a sword. It's got the graphics that look like Devil May Cry-ish, Final Fantasy-ish. Beast of Reincarnation. See, so this is the game from Game Freak. That's not a Pokemon game. Follows its appearance at the Xbox Game Developer Direct last month. Beast of Reincarnation is a new third-person action game from Pokemon developer Game Freak. Was the next game to feature the second. The trailer showed off fresh gameplay and confirmed August 4th release date. So this is coming out August 4th, which I will be able to be played on the Xbox free to play, sort of, with Game Pass. So I'll be playing this with Game Pass. Hopefully it's good. I'm hoping it's good. I'm going to give it a try from Game Freak, but I guess they're showing off because they're going to sell it on PlayStation as well, because why wouldn't they? It's not like they're bound to Xbox, and I'm sure Microsoft gets some money because I think Microsoft helped publish this game with Game Freak. Like that's why they got it on Game Pass. So I think that's another reason why this is coming out as a PlayStation title as well. Damn, if this game shoots off really good and people really like it, and this is a really good game and it really shoots off, well, what's that gonna say for the Pokemon games and stuff, huh? Gotta say. Here we go. Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition. To celebrate the 30th anniversary of Ubisoft's Armless Hero Rayman, a new edition of the original adventure launches tomorrow on PlayStation. I wonder if this is also coming out on Xbox as well. Just to talk. I know this is PlayStation, but I'm sure if it's coming out on PlayStation, I'm sure there will be one for Xbox. Let's see. Here we go. Rayman 30th Anniversary Xbox. Let's see how much it is. Anniversary Edition. $20, folks. $20, and you get Xbox achievements. Single player Xbox achievements. Ooh. What does it say? The Definitive Edition. Play the classic adventure across 5 versions. 5 versions. MS-DOS, PlayStation, and Atari Jaguar, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance, now enhanced with an impressive reimagined soundtrack plus more than 120 additional levels from Rayman's new levels, Rayman 60 levels, and Rayman by his fans. And for the first time ever, experienced the long-lost SNES prototype, offering a rare glimpse into how Rayman's innovative gameplay first looks shape. $20, eh? From Digital. Oh, this is by Digital Eclipse. No wonder this is like something big. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm probably going to buy this right away. Shit. Because here's the thing, folks. I never really played the original Rayman game, so this is all going to be new to me. And $20? That's a good deal. That is a worth it. That is worth it. Oh, I gotta check that sucker out. Is it for just Xbox, or could I get this for PC? Oh shit, it's for Xbox. Of course. Why is it never for Xbox for PC? I bet it's on Steam though. That's okay. I know. I could check this out though. Here, I gotta check this out. Let's see here. Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition. What we get here on the Xbox side here? Nada. Nothing. God damn it, Microsoft. Only half-assing this stuff. You should be getting this stuff on there. None of this. I bet you it'll all come eventually down the road, but still. It's like, I want it on my, be able to play. Well, I'll be able to stream this, so that's okay. That's going to be fun. Here we go. Mina the Hollower, Yacht Club's next major adventure, Mina the Hollower, made an appearance afterward as a PlayStation 5 exclusive demo, was confirmed to launch tomorrow. The release window was also updated to spring 2026. So this looks like a little pixel-like game here where you can fight things and stuff. It looks pretty cool. Next, Neva Prologue, a new prologue chapter in Nomanda Studios' 2024 indie hit. Neva was confirmed for launch on February 19th. The base game will be required to play the new prologue. Know nothing about this game, but yep, that's a Sony State of Play thing. Next game they got Yakoa Shinobi Ops, Yokoi. Oh, is it Yokoi? Yokoi Shinobi Ops made its debut next, showing off an isometric view of some of the ninja-based gameplay. The game is set to launch in 2027. Nice artwork on this. Looks very like top-down-ish. Not top-down-ish, side top-down. Good graphics, good shaders, stuff like that. Looks a little Assassin's Creed-ish in a way. Project Windless. Krafton's Montreal studio unveiled its newest project next, and its third-person action game called Project Windless. Players will control a dual-wielding warrior, Chicken, as he hacks and slashes through the hordes of enemies. That is one badass-looking chicken. He ain't getting fried up in anybody's pot tonight. That looks badass. Of course, the Star Wars Galactic Racer, which people are interested in. I'm kind of interested in it. I just want to see more of it. One big surprise from the Game Awards 2025 zoomed into the state of play as Star Wars Galactic Racer showed more of its fast-paced racing, as well as a few cutscenes and confrontations between racers. 007 First Light was showed off on this from IO Interactive's take on James Bond origin story, debut next. The game is still on course for a launch on May 27th. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2. The next section of the State of Play featured Konami, which kicked off with the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 launching August 27th. The collection includes the PSP's Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, as well as Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots, which marks the game's first ever port since its launch on PS3 in 2008. MGS Master Collection Volume 1 will also receive an update with high-resolution visuals and other improvements. So there you go, folks. You want to play older Solid Snake? There you go. On next-gen hardware. Darwin's Paradox. Konami's next announcement involved Darwin's Paradox, an upcoming octopus-based adventure game first announced late last year. A new demo available tonight or tomorrow, which is now as you're listening to this, will pay homage to Metal Gear Solid. Okay. Little games, little titles. Castlevania Belmont's Curse, a new 2D Castlevania adventure. Belmont's Curse was revealed next. The game is in development at Motion Twin, which is a studio behind Dead Cells. Belmont's Curse is set to launch later this year. That sounds very familiar. Belmont's Curse. Castlevania Belmont's Curse. I know they got the show, but Belmont's Curse. I thought that was already announced somehow. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Silent Hill Townfall, following last year's critically acclaimed Silent Hill F, the horror franchise is back with Silent Hill Townfall in collaboration with Annapurna Interactive. Townfall launches later this year, so you got more Silent Hill. Me, I don't know. I still want to play Silent Hill F, but I think it might come out on Game Pass sometime. I got a feeling it might be on Game Pass, so I'm going to hold off on that, and it's still like $70, so I'll wait. Rev.Nor, next from Konami was the debut of Rev.Nor, a new anime-infused RPG. A brief teaser introduced some of the characters and the locations of the world of Rev.Nor, but more is set to be revealed in the future. Yep, those look like anime-ass RPG characters. Got a girl in a skirt with her like cleavage there. You got another girl with fully dressed, looks like a captain of some sort of industry, and then you got the boy that's looking at both of them looking like which one he wants to tap first, and he's got like half a sleeve on one side of his shirt. He's got a full sleeve. He's got crazy hair. One of the girls looks really upset. The other girl looks like she's looking out into my soul. Yep. This game is going to be, I'm hoping, a really good game. It's either going to really be good or it's going to be really bad. This is going to be the first we get a really good John Wick game. And boy, oh boy, I watched this trailer for John Wick the game, and I'm like, ooh, I want to play me some John Wick the game. So this next game is John Wick, a new third-person action game starring Keanu Reeves as the anonymous John Wick. Was announced by Saber Interactive, which they do really good, and Lionsgate. No official release info was revealed, but the debut trailer did feature a brief tease of gameplay. John Wick also said, yeah. Okay. I hope this John Wick game is good. Saber, you got some big shoes to fill, plus you got all that 007 stuff and all those other games out like that, so you got some big shoes to prove. Next game up, Marathon, a new trailer for Marathon, the upcoming multiplayer shooter from Bungie, showed off the new gameplay and gunplay and a new few teases of greater story surrounding the game. A server slam open preview weekend is set for February 26th through March 2nd, ahead of the game's launch on March 5th. It looks like Halo-esque, but that's, of course, Bungie, who used to do Halo. I got nothing for Marathon. I don't know if that's going to even do well. I heard it didn't do well last time, so I don't know. I hate to doubt people, but they should have stuck with making Halo games. I'm sorry. PlayStation Plus, a slew of new games coming to PS Plus were revealed next. Marvel Spider-Man 2 will drop on February 17th, while Tekken Dark Resurrection will hit the service in March. The PlayStation 1 port of the arcade shooter classic Time Crisis will join the service in May, while House's open-world co-op walking game, The Big Walk, will launch directly onto the service later this year. Okay, so you're going to get your Spider-Man 2s finally on your PlayStation Plus. Never day one, though. Not like Xbox. Saros. Next up came Saros, the next third-person shooter adventure from House Marquet. The trailer highlighted the game's roguelike systems, including the hub where the hero, Adjourn, will upgrade with permanent progression systems, choose abilities, and more. Saros launches on April 30th. Saros looks pretty good. That looks good. I wonder if this is coming somewhere to Xbox. I know I gotta always ask if it comes to Xbox. I know, I'm sorry, folks, but I always like to find out if something I would be able to play on Xbox or Steam. Let's see here, Saros. Let's see here, Saros, or is this just? It might be PC. Yeah, I'm not seeing no Xbox because is this? Maybe it's a more PC, PlayStation-like game. But you never know. Looks interesting. Looks like a shooter. Marvel Token Fighting Souls, a new gameplay trailer for Marvel Token, followed next with a look at the unbreakable X-Men team within the game. Storm was previously confirmed, but 3 more X-Men, Magic, Wolverine, and Danger made their debut. Toon Token will launch on August 6th. I don't know nothing about this game. It's just more of those games that I don't care about. And then finally, two last games that finished up the show was the God of War Trilogy Remake, which, damn, this better come also to PC on top of just the PlayStation day one, because I will pay you $70 on Steam, or better yet, if you bought it to Microsoft's console, I'll pay you $80. I'll give you another $10 if you bring it to Xbox. Come on, Sony. Don't be chicken. Don't be scared. Do what the Microsoft does. Bring it to Xbox, you cowards. Bring it to Xbox, cowards. Come on, Sony. I'm calling you out. Sony PlayStation. Bring this God of War Trilogy Remake to Xbox consoles and Xbox for PC, you cowards. I will pay you fucking $80 for this if you do it. If you do it, I will pay you $80. I'm sure a lot of other people in the Xbox community will pay you $80 for that. If you do it, you'll get an extra 10. Don't be cowards. Come on, bring it. Bring it. I know that'll never happen, but bring it. God of War Trilogy Remake, a full remake of the original God of War Trilogy, is now in development, which could be possible that they bring it to, Xbox, who knows? Or it'll just be on Steam and PlayStation, of course. Is now in development at Santa Monica Studios with the original Kratos voice actor T.C. Carson. That's his name. T.C. Carson confirming the game is in early development. I'm sure he's going to do the voice, the voice work for it, which, you know what? That's what I want to see from Sony. Oh, I loved playing God of War, all the God of War trilogy. I'll play it again and again and again. I do have the originals. That's great and all, but shit, a remake? Ooh, better graphics and stuff like that? Ooh. I hope it's good. I hope they do a good job. I know they're not the same people, but I hope they do a good damn job, because they got some shoes to fill from the original God of War teams out there. And two, bring it to Xbox. I'll pay more. I will be willing to pay more for that, Sony. Come on, you guys like money, right? They should try that, to do as just a test. Sony should test out, say, because this is only in development now. They can make it so they can work on Xbox right now, or future Xboxes and whatnot. Xbox, future Xbox for PC at least. And they could test out, say, hey, if we bring this God of War Trilogy Remake to the Xbox, just this one game, this big game, and we charge not 70, but $80 on it and it'll be 70 everywhere else. Let's see how many people will buy it on Xbox and Xbox for PC for 80. And they'll get achievements for this game. I wonder how well that will sell. Even though people are kind of somewhat going away from Xbox sometimes and stuff like that. Imagine how many people would just come back just to play this on Xbox and Xbox for PC and stuff. That would be very big marketing for Sony. Be like, look at this. We can bring our games to Xbox anytime, and guess what? They sell, baby. They sell. I want to play that trilogy. I really do. Sony, hit me up with the God of War Trilogy Remake. Bring me some codes, whatever. I would definitely. Shit, I'll buy it for early playability. Come on. And then they came out with God of War Sons of Sparta, which was came out right after this. People played it. It's the often-rumored God of War Metrovania-style game. Sons of Sparta was finally confirmed. The game was in development in a collaboration between Santa Monica Studio and Mega Cat Studios with a pixel art aesthetic and side-scrolling gameplay. Sons of Sparta is now available on the PlayStation 5, out now. I watched people play this game. There's nothing. It's not really a God of War game. It's like God of War in the esque, but there's nothing really good about that. I did not care for it. I watched it. The people even talking, and I'm not going to call them out, but people that were playing this were even like, yeah, it's got a war name, but it's not the Kratos that we want, And I understand that. It's not the Kratos that we want. Not the Kratos that we want. So, yeah, that was the Sony State of Play. Notice not nothing about their Wolverine game that they're working on, their main Wolverine game. Where's all the other big games that they're working on? There's some games, like I said, you got the God of War trilogy, you got some other stuff, a lot of partnered games and other stuff, but where's their Wolverine game? What happened to that? Wasn't that supposed to come out this year or something? I heard rumors. No show again? I don't know. Sony used to come out with their A game all the time with these things, but they came out with a lot of stuff, but a lot of the stuff you see on other things, like, on Nintendo's, Nintendo's Direct and Microsoft's gaming streams and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff is on other platforms, most of the stuff, and a lot of it that they are showing is just like, Like I said, they showed John Wick, but that's coming out on everything. They show a lot of other stuff that's coming out on mostly everything. Like the Rayman 30th anniversary, shit, I'm gonna buy that sucker to play that on my Xbox and stuff like that. But nothing really too much from them. Like I said, I can't discount the whole God of War remake trilogy there. So that's something. But where's Wolverine? Where's all these other games that maybe they might be working on? Where's that one major game they were working on that people were talking about a lot? I forgot what it was. It was some major where the lady was flying the spaceship thing. I forgot the name of that, but where was that? I don't know, Sony. And PlayStation fans out there, I don't know. Like I said, a lot of stuff, but there's also a lot of stuff in there you got to understand was that Nintendo's Direct and Microsoft Showcase and all that other stuff. It's not like it hasn't been seen before. It's just Sony saying, hey, we got this stuff too. Oh, well, don't want to be a damper on that. I'll give it a C+, because they have God of War trilogy remake. I'm very interested whenever that comes. And I say, come to the Xbox, you cowards. So the games that I, Mr. Mike, have played in the past week.
The games that have been played in the past week.
As I take a sip of water right when that ends. Go figure. To clear my throat of talking. So I played a few games over the week. Not too much. I've been doing some other stuff. I've been doing some like eBaying, business stuff, relations, and other stuff, and a lot of working. So I really haven't been getting into stuff. But yesterday, because I'm recording this on Sunday, yesterday, Saturday night, I finally finished. Finally finished, folks. I finally finished The Outer Worlds 2. Took me long enough, right? Yeah, it took me a long time to finish that. A lot longer probably than it should, but I finally can say I have played and have beaten The Outer Worlds 2. Now, note, I didn't do every side quest and mission and character questing and stuff like that. I did a few, but I just went through the main story, shot it all up, had my fun, and now I am finished. I am going to go back in there one little more second because I needed some extra footage for something that I'm doing. Some extra raw gameplay footage, but otherwise I am done with Outer Worlds 2. It was fun. The story was straightforward. Nothing super extravagantly explosive, except at the end when we all basically, spoiler alert, died. I picked it where I died with some of my crew, and we all went into the rift together and to save the universe. That's it. Otherwise, it was fun. It got aggravating in certain parts where you get stuck and you're like, well, where do I go next? Because it doesn't want to show you. The biggest problem of the Outer Worlds 2 was it didn't show you where your objectives were properly. Like, it did not do a very good job at showing you where your objectives were located or where you were to go. And I was always confused, and I always had to look up all the time on my phone and stuff. Where do I go next? What do I do? Because it's not showing up wicked shit on the map. And I'm looking at all the icons. I'm like, they should have made the icons better to find and see. They could have did it better for where you go and what to find and stuff like that. They didn't really do a good job at that. That was my biggest pet peeve of the Outer Worlds 2. Otherwise, the shooting, the story, doing other stuff, that was fine. I did not have a problem with that like I had with the first Outer Worlds game. And I completed it. It was good. It was fun. Collecting a bunch of stuff was useless, but I kept getting stuff. At least I wasn't getting overcumbered or anything. Not like in a Todd Howard Bethesda game. If you collect a few things and you're, oh, I'm overcumbered. I can't move. Oh shit. But it was fun. Very fun, colorful, good space adventure. Seemed like, I don't say it seemed like it ended quick. It ended at a good pace. It was a good length of the game. I just took too long to play it and beat it. But finally I beat it, and I can cross that off my list now, and I can get into other stuff. Like I'm going to get into more Final Fantasy VII Remake, because I've been really having a good time with that. And I really want to get into some more of that and play that through, because June, there's going to be another that's going to be the second part of that comes out in June, and I want to play that. And I've been getting into that Final Fantasy because I think they did a really good job at Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I want to give it my more outer attention. So I'm glad that the Outer Worlds 2 is played and done. So I beat 2 Obsidian games this time around. I beat Avowed and the Outer Worlds 2. So that was great. I understand why they're not going to be working on a third one for a little while. Maybe eventually they might come back to it. Maybe. I don't know if they ever will. We'll see. I would like to see if they came back to the Outer Worlds again, because they did pretty good job at the Outer Worlds. So I don't know. Just didn't, I killed the Vries. She was our main baddie at the time. I accidentally killed her at a part. I didn't want to kill her, and this was in the game, and I just left it as is because I was at a part where I was like, well, I got to kill this bad guy, and she was like right there, right next to him, and I took like a swing or something at the guy, and she was in the way too, and I accidentally killed her, and I'm like, well, it's not like she didn't deserve to get killed, but maybe I could have kept her to tag along or something, but she got her just desserts. And at the end of the game, they said, well, she was a bad person. She got her just desserts. So yeah, okay. And they go through the whole thing of, well, you didn't help any of your sidekicks. No, I did not. No, I did not. I did not really care about helping out any of the sidekicks in their story. So that was a lot of stuff I did not do. I just wanted to play through the main game, and that's what I did. And they said, yeah, you saved everybody. You killed yourself in the fiery blaze, maybe. Who knows? With your psychotic lady partner and stuff and action. And yeah, a lot of interesting stuff happened. Some people went missing later, and the robot, what is her name? Val, the robot, she got depressed and just stopped working. Okay. Yeah, it was still a fun game, and I was happy I beat it yesterday, and I'm like, good. Delete off that. I got on my main machine here because, like I said, I got to go back into it a little bit and play a few minutes of it to get some extra footage for something. But yeah, Outer Worlds 2. Who would have thunk we would have got a bunch of games from Obsidian all at once? But no, like I said, I can move on. I was going to move back to like Star Wars Outlaws, or I was going to go to Indiana Jones, but then I'm like, well, I got this Final Fantasy now in my hands. I got to play me some Final Fantasy again. And this is really good Final Fantasy. I am going to be doing that live again. I'm going to be doing a stream of Final Fantasy, of course, again this Friday. So more Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate if you guys are interested for this Friday. So Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here at OldFreakyGamer.com or YouTube.com live, or twitch.tv. I will be streaming. So you got that. But yeah, I'm very happy about that. Outer Worlds 2, good game. Played it a lot on my Xbox Raw X. It looked and played very well. Been jumping into and streaming to my Xbox ROG Ally from my Xbox. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I could just play it on my ROG Ally, but I've been doing it as a streaming thing because like I said, I don't directly play games off of my Xbox too much unless if I'm doing a stream or something, and I do that. Otherwise, I usually, if I want to get that Xbox points achievement to playing my Xbox, I usually stream it to my ROG Ally, and then I play it on there a bit. And so I've been playing Marvel Cosmic Invasion, slowly getting through it. I finally just destroyed, what was her name? I keep forgetting her name. Thor's sister, Hela. Is her name Hela? Hela. You know, the lady with the knives and all that stuff, and she's bad. She's very bad. She was very badass in this game, too. She kept kicking my butts. Like, She-Hulk, even though She-Hulk was all the way at a level 10, finally got Wolverine at level 10 because, you know, I kept dying all the time with them. Finally got, I double team raped her ass. I had to double team rape Hela's ass with the two because damn, she was just like boom, 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 shooting arrows and spikes and all sorts of stuff at us and disappearing and flying to there, flying to here, back and forth. And I'm like, you son of a bitch, just stay there so we can beat you up. And then she would raise her shields all the time. And I was like, damn. Oh, it's pissing me off. I couldn't beat her for weeks. And now I finally got her. And I'm like, oh, God. Now on to the next guy, which slowly getting through the game. It does have some challenging points to it. But it's a very fun side-scrolling beat-em-up type of game. I got to admit, it's very fun. It's just like when I was playing Battletoads again, which I got to get back into again because I'm sure I don't have that much left for Battletoads, I would guess, because I was pretty far into Battletoads, but I got to get back into that and finish that game up so I could say, hey, I played Battletoads and I finally beat it. You know, even though I was stuck on it for a while, but then I finally advanced in that game. But Marvel Cosmic Invasion, very fun. Very fun. Can't wait to beat it. But it's just a little something fun that I can jump on and stream from my Xbox to my ROG Ally. And the streaming remote play works so well that, you know, I don't have any problems playing it and doing the quick fights and hits and stuff like that. It's just my bad gameplay that keeps me from being the best at it. So, yeah, really good, fun game to either play directly or stream it. Then the game just came out on Friday called High on Life 2, baby. I'm high on life. Now, this is a funny part of this game. So, this is the sequel to High on Life. You are basically the main protagonist, the, what do they call you? The celebrity bounty hunter this time, which you turn outlaw because your sister, she goes into this resurgence faction. She's the resistance basically for humanity in this faction, which they're trying to take down this big, giant, sinister pharmaceutical corporation this time around, which it's called Rhea Pharmaceuticals. And this game is as crazy as the first one, even crazier. A lot of swearing in this game. There's a lot of swearing in this game. It gets rude, crude, and a lot of swearing. A lot of naughtiness, and it's a lot more naughtier than the first one, I gotta say. And the guns talk marvelously. They're funny as ever. They're great. Even though Justin Roiland is in this game, you know, he's not doing any voice work or anything. They did a really good job. The game, when I first played it, it crashed only once on me. I hear a lot of people are having problems with the stability of the game and how the game is running and stuff, you know, for people on other platforms and computers and stuff. I never really had too much of a problem with High on Life 2. I have it on high settings. I have it locked at 60 frames per second because, like I said, my monitors only go to 60 frames or 60 hertz, and I only record at 60 hertz. I'm not doing 120 or 4K or anything like that. So I keep everything at a 1080p 60. I think it was at more than 1080p. It could have been higher than 1080p, but I did it around the 1080p / 60 hertz frames per second thing, which kept the game running smoothly, and it looked great and stuff like that. Everything was on high. Turned off blurring and stuff like that. The stupid stuff I never keep in there. But the game is really good so far. Also, when I was playing the game, I was playing it at a state that I shouldn't probably been playing the game at because I wasn't feeling well that Friday. As you can see, I was starting to sweat. I was getting really bad headache that time. I think I was just sick that time. I think I got like really sick. I wasn't feeling well, so I wasn't really at first appreciating High on Life 2 to what I should have did. And then I watched other people start to play and stuff. And then I was getting the jokes, then I was getting the humor, and then I was really laughing it up. And then I played a bit more of it. I'm like, okay, this game is fun. This game is really funny and fun and stuff like that. I hate the skateboarding. It's good to get around quicker, but I'm not going to be trying to do any of the tricks and jumps and stuff. I don't really care about the skateboarding. I'm not going to trick out my skateboard unless if it makes it go faster or something else, or if I'm gripping on it better. I don't know. But otherwise, I don't give a shit about the skateboarding for it. I know they added it as a big thing to the game, but I just want to shoot, loot, all that stuff. Find my wanted posters that I have my own face on that I drew up myself. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Like I said, it is crazy game. It's more of the same of the first into this one. Everything looks really good in the game. Really, really good. It's really but it's just got to get it more optimized, and people will like the game better, I guess. But otherwise, the story's fun, raunchy, fun. It's more of this first one. I hope it does well. I really hope it does really well for them because Squanch Games needs that. They need some good because they went from High on Life right to High on Life 2, and it's on Game Pass again. So that's really cool too. So I get to play this game for free again on Game Pass, and it worked well for them the first time. Hopefully it works well for this time. Right now it's a lot of negatives and mixed reviews for the performance and the crashes and stuff like that, but that can change. That could change. It's hard to get a game like this working on a lot of different types of platforms and computers and such. Consoles, it should hopefully run better. I don't know. I don't know what people are saying about the console part of it, but for the PC part, it's a little broken up there. I like how they do a little bit of like callbacks in this game too. If you're playing the game and you watch the game and you play the game of High on Life 2 really interestingly, they do a lot of like callbacks to like movies. If you look at the scenes when you get into different areas and stuff, and they talk and they say different things and they show you different things. Like I was in the Rhea Pharmaceuticals part and stuff. A lot of it's like callbacks to other media, like movies and stuff. Like there's a bit of Jurassic Park in this game. There's a bit of what do you call that movie? Shit. I forgot what it was called. It was, shit, I know these movies quite well, but I forgot the names of them. It was the one where you get in the monster movie, shaky cam footage. Oh, what's it called? I hate when I forget the name of that movie. Cloverfield. Yes. It has a little bit of the Cloverfield in the beginning of the game. If you watch it closely, they're doing like callbacks to these movies and stuff in this game. And you got some Cloverfield in there. You got a little bit of Jurassic Park in there. You got stuff from other franchise movies and stuff and stuff like that. And it really makes it really cool. It makes it really fun. So far on the TV, I didn't see any old stupid movies or anything like they did on the first High on Life where they had Terry the T-Rex in there, which I actually bought that movie. I didn't watch it yet. I hear it's a really bad movie, but I bought it. I do own it. I haven't watched it yet. I got to watch that, but I'm very interested to see what they do with this game and where it goes. It's more bounty hunting. It's more shooting, more looting, shooting, searching, and everybody's crazy. And Lizzie's still pimping around. Now she's the main gun runner of everything, and your parents are basically very corrupt. Your parents are basically, they're divorced, sort of. Your mother was cheating on your dad with a little with let's do it. And oh my God, really fun, really grotesque fun. If you liked High on Life, you might like High on Life 2, or wait a little bit while it's well, stuff needs to be optimized if you want to play this on PC. If you're playing this on console, check it out, Game Pass. Or if you do have a PC, if you have a custom PC like mine and it only crashes once, well, there you go. Beautiful. Then play it on your PC. Another thing, that just reminds me, talking about PC crashes, another thing that bothers me about High on Life 2, I think this was the same thing for High on Life 1, this has that automatic saving points and stuff. You can't manually save in this game, and that drives me nuts. It's like, why won't you let me manually save? Why, Squanch Games, have you not put in manual saves in this game? Why? What's the purpose? So if the game breaks or something happens, I can't manually save and go back to where I am. I don't understand why they didn't do that. In a day and age where everybody mostly has manual saves in most of their games, why no manual saves? Tell me. Please tell me, Squanch Games, why no manual saves in High on Life 2? That bothers me. And then the final game that I've been playing, and then I think I will be finishing up today after I talk about this on the podcast. I've been playing for the whole week now, Life is Strange Double Exposure. Now, I've been playing this and recording this because this is going to be the first game that I do my game through session on. That's my new show, my new series of show. That's going to be first going up this Tuesday. The first episode of Game Through, which I am going to be playing Life is Strange Double Exposure, is going to be up this Tuesday because I am going to be playing through the whole game. It's going to be in episodes, of course. I think it might be just 5 episodes so far, unless if there's more content and I keep having to record more stuff. But I think I'm getting close to the end of it. But I was really interested in doing a show where I can just play games through the games. I don't have to do all the side stuff and all that. Just play through the games, beat the games, and do my playthroughs through them because I like doing playthroughs. And I said to myself, Life is Strange Double Exposure, I got to play this game because they got Life is Strange Reunion coming out soon next month. And I want to get this done so I can go on to the Max and Chloe finale of Life is Strange from Double Exposure to Reunion. And I said to myself, well, this will be a great first game to play through, hence the name of the show, so I can play through this game. And why don't I have, I don't have this on here, do I? No, I do not. But don't I have, here we go. Here we go. I could do this. Hold on. I could put my logo here. Hold on. Pop a logo. Oh, it's a big logo. I know, this is only for the video portion of the show here, folks. This is a big logo. Excuse me, it's going to take a little while. Because I have this really big because I wanted a high res, so when I made my t-shirts for Game Through, they would be really good. And plus, when I put it on this website and videos and stuff, and when I have my starter video for it, I lost it. Oh, shit. Where'd it go? Oh, there we go. Oh, man, I lost it. I think oh, no, it's on me now. There we go. Shit. This is hard to do when I'm trying to record a podcast and I'm trying to do a logo thing here of Game Through. I'm promoting it right now on my podcast. Here we go. Game Through. There we go. Game Through. There we go. Promoting Game Through. There I am. If you're watching the video portion, you see me. That is me. I drew me and I named it Game Through. I was going to name it Game On Through or whatever, but I'm saying, why don't I just make it really simple, Game Through, because I'm playing through, and I didn't want to call it playing through because I do a lot of let's play this, that, Game On stuff, and I'm like, how about Game Through, because I'm gaming through a game. very straight and simple. It is stupid as hell, but you know what, me? I like to make stupid titles and stuff like that. So game through my series, and I am playing Life is Strange Double Exposure. It is a fun game. It is a challenging game in ways where I'm trying to figure out to do stuff, find stuff. I'm better at it now, but the game is almost over. So of course I'm going to be better at the ending of this. But it's a really great story. It gets really cringy and dark and stuff. And I found out some shit. Now, I also know a lot of people out there did not really care for the Life is Strange Double Exposure, apparently. So far, I'm liking this game. And I already know basically who might have killed Safi. Spoiler alert. Because I'm sure they show it in trailers and stuff in the beginning anyways. But yeah, and Max and stuff like that, and her powers and all that, and how they evolved and all that. It is really a good game, and it's really good story-based game. I really do like the Life is Strange games and series. And even though people say this was like not so good and it was the weakest one, I felt like this was really good so far. Like I said, I'm yet to finish it. I'm almost finished. I might be finished with it today. So I'm just saying this has been a very good game for me. And I really recommend playing this before Life is Strange Reunion comes out. And I will be buying that day and date when it comes out. And I'll do like a first gameplay of that or something or whatever, and play it and stuff like that maybe. Or maybe I won't do it first. I don't know. We'll see. But this will be a series. I will be coming out with an episode every Tuesday of this Life is Strange Double Exposure on Game Through. It'll be going up on my website at OldFreakyGamer.com and my YouTube channel. So be on the lookout for it. Be on the lookout for me playing. Excuse me. I got some fuzz in my nose, and it's really bothering me. Hold on. Another good reason why I don't record these live, folks, these podcasts, because it's a lot easier to just record them and be able to pause every time you need to do nose stuff or whatever, or if you forget something and you can do it. And, you know, I think it's my mustache that's getting up in my nose. It's annoying. Plus, I got some dust in this room. I've been kicking up some dust. I've been dusting too, but that dust, it comes out every winter and makes my nose all crazy. But like I said, Life is Strange Double Exposure Episode 1 drops this Tuesday. So that's tomorrow as you're watching and listening to this podcast on OldFreakyGamer.com and YouTube.com/OldFreakyGamer-2023 for the first episode of Game Through. And you'll be impressed. Now, I'm going to also let you in a little insider thing here. A little spoiler alert. The first 2 episodes of Game Through, I forgot to use my official Game Through starter because I forgot I had a starter made up for Life is Strange Double Exposure. But after those first 2 episodes, the 3rd episode will be my official starter for Game Through for Life is Strange Double Exposure. I just couldn't really change it because it was integrated with the gameplay and stuff in the first one. So I didn't want to change them, so I left them as is. But 3rd, going forward, it will be the official Game Through Life is Strange Double Exposure starters. And then I got to think of the next game that I play that is going to be a game that I play through or game through next. So that'll be interesting what I choose next. Because it's not going to be me going from Life is Strange Double Exposure to Life is Strange Reunion. I'm going to choose a totally different game. It might be a shooter, might be something else, might be a FMV game, which I'm really thinking might be the case on that. So, because I got a lot of games. I got a lot of games, mind you, that I have purchased that I need to play, that I need to get back into and stuff. So, yeah, it might be an FMV game or something. I got the feeling on that. So, but I've been playing it. I've been having fun. I've been enjoying the story, the storyline and stuff of Life is Strange Double Exposure. And damn, I wish this was a TV series or a movie or something, or both, because it gets real. It gets real. It gets dark. It gets fun. It's woo. I highly recommend the games. I definitely do. Life is Strange Double Exposure. And those were the games, mind you, that I played in the past week. Okay, because I don't want this podcast going any longer than it is. It's already over 2 hours. I was going to talk about some other stuff here, but let's see here. What was I going to talk about? Yeah, I don't really have too much time. I got other stuff I got to do today and all that. So this is going to be like a semi-shorter podcast, question mark, because there was just a lot of news to talk about, a lot of games and stuff. So nothing really that I want to talk about, that I'm going to talk about. I'll get into more on stuff like that, but I'll finish off with this. I'll talk for a couple minutes of this. So the one game that I'm not going to be playing right at the start, and I'm going to say to other people, do not buy this game as well. And I hate to say this because I love this franchise a lot, but I'm saying do not buy the Yakuza Kiwami 3 remaster with Dark Ties, even though you probably want to play Dark Ties very much. It's only going to be a 5-hour-long adventure in Dark Tide, so be it the will for $70. What is it, $60, $70, something around there, 60 on Steam or whatever it is. I'm going to say to hold off on it. And it's not because of the guy that hired the sexualist, whatever guy, that was doing bad, naughty stuff in the past with ladies or whatever. That was a piece of shit that people keep talking about. And they're like, oh, it's because this guy was a piece of shit and they still hired him anyways because he was a good piece of shit for the character and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's not really about that, even though it's bad. But, the studio should have known. I don't think this game is going to be worth the $60 price tag that they want for it. And I'm also hearing rumors, and these are sad rumors, that I hear that they RGG Studios might be walking away from future Yakuza or Like a Dragon games and trying to make different types of games. And I'm like, that doesn't sound good for that studio. Now, note, the leads of the studio that were originally there all retired or left and are at new studios doing other things. And there's been a lot of change up at Sega and stuff, but it makes me really sad because I really liked the new Like a Dragon games. I really like, what they did with Ichiban and people and stuff like that. I think the last one they didn't do well with sales. And then Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza I loved a lot. Those side games which they did. I know some people didn't care for those as well, which I don't know why you wouldn't. Those were really good stories and games. I guess people just don't really like good stories in their games anymore or something. I don't know what. But those were really good games, and it felt really good sailing on the seas with Majima and fighting. I do hear a rumor that there is maybe another side Yakuza or Like a Dragon project in the works, but beyond that, I heard that there's been a lot of different changes and turmoil, and who knows what happens after this Yakuza 3 Dark Tides thing, because they said they're not going to remaster any of the other ones. They're not going to do 4, 5, or 6 or anything like that. So it makes me wonder what the studio is going to be doing going forward. You can't even get the old remasters or older versions of the games anymore. They took them off and they say you got to buy them all in a package and stuff. They're doing a lot of not so good for your fans tactics over there, RGG Studios. And as a RGG, once a RGG, who knows, it might be once, but a RGG Studio fan of their work, because I love the Judgment games. They only did 2 of them and they never did any more. And the Yakuza games and Like a Dragon games, as they now call them. I'm very upset by this. And that could just be another one of those turning tide things where, hey, things are changing. Game development's going in different directions, not always for the best. And like a lot of people are saying, RGG Studios or Sega or both, whoever's making the calls here, are not reading the room, and they're not going by what the fans and the people want. And they're not doing the right thing, and they're hiring ex-cons and stuff for their games as voice actors, apparently, which, like I said, those people need work too, even though he was a bad person. But, and what he did, but still, yeah, I got a lot of questions about this, and I can only hope and pray that they'll fix things over there and things get better. Maybe they just need to reset all of RGG Studios and reset that place. Maybe reset the executives and people there. Even though they just did that, they just put them in the roles. Maybe they're not going to do as good. Maybe Sega's got to step back a little bit or step in more. I don't know. And maybe they got to redo that, make a brand new ROG engine. They're supposed to maybe make a new Yakuza engine, That's something that a lot of fans have been calling for because, RGG's been known for reusing assets and assets and assets in their same old engine that they've been using since Yakuza 6 Song of Life. If you don't know that, they're using the same Yakuza 6 Song of Life engine, which was way back in the day, and they're doing it for all these new games and such. So, yeah, it's kind of time for a new game engine, new direction, new people, maybe try to go back to the beginning of make the games Yakuza again and make them old school again. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know. Actually, that's what I do know. That's what I would think about if I was going to do that and make it so that they're back to the fun, nitty gritty, dark games that they were with a lot of craziness in them and stuff. That's what I liked about those games. And sure, you can make them still turn-based. You could go from that to turn-based and maybe bring back the Judgment games. I really like those Judgment games with Yagami, with Yagami's detective agency and stuff. And what's his name? Kiro? Is it Kiro? Oh, man, I forgot already. Kato. Yes, Kato. Yagami and Kato. Oh, I want to go back to that because they were good. They were good story-based games and they were good adventures, and I loved playing them. And it's sad that they're not doing any more of those, and who knows what happens to the Yakuza. It seems like that studio's falling apart a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just jumping to conclusions. But that's the rumor that's been going around. But I'm going to tell you right now, do not purchase that Yakuza 3 Dark Tides game. Wait till it goes on sale. I'm going to wait till it's like 20 or less. And I'm going to wait till it actually goes on Xbox for PC, because that's another thing that pissed me off, that it wasn't going to be on Xbox for PC, that it was only going to be on the Xbox. So that was another thing that pissed me off. And that it was only going to be a Steam PC game. So that's another thing I'll wait for. And that Dark Tides was only going to be like around 5 hours long. So I'm like, well, that's a short game, and that's the game I really want to play. So do I want to spend $60 for just playing that 5-hour game? No, because I don't really want to play Yakuza 3 again for the third time, but, so I'll wait. I think we should all wait, see what goes on, see if the message finally gets across to RGG and Sega. Or is it going to fall on deaf ears like it usually does? Because remember, they're Japanese studios, and, Japan and their studios, they're very proud of their own studios, and they think they know better, just like how Nintendo thinks they know better. But until you start squeezing the screws to these people and saying, nah, we're not spending all this money on your bullshit, then they finally get to realize, oh, maybe we're not doing the right thing. And then eventually maybe things will change. But that's if. That's an if. So everybody, thank you for joining me. I'm going to end this podcast, like I said, somewhat a little earlier than usual. But yeah, thank you for joining me. I'm going to go make something to eat. Then I'm going to go play some more Life is Strange and some other games and stuff, and enjoy the rest of my Sunday and finish up editing this and getting all ready to post for Monday. So everybody, and also Tuesday, Game Through with Life is Strange Double Exposure, Episode 1. Be there to watch it. You can go to OldFreakyGamer.com to see my schedule of what I got going on. And then, like I said, I didn't say what I was going to do for Let's Play for Wednesday. I think I was going to do Life is Strange. No, I was going to do High on Life 2 for Let's Play for Wednesday. And then, like I said, Friday, for Friday stream, it's going to be more... I can't talk anymore. Final Fantasy 7 remake. Remake Intergrade. So that's going to be Friday stream at 8 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com live or twitch.tv. And you can get to those pages through oldfreakygamer.com if you want. You can just click on them and they just go right to them. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. So everybody, I'm Mr. Mike signing out very quickly saying have a happy rest of your weekend. Hopefully it's a good gaming week. It's supposed to warm up really big this week, so it's going to get really warm this week. So I'm sure I'm going to have more work to do at work, so go figure. But everybody, until next time, I am Mr. Mike signing out, saying game on, game hard, world conquest. I'm pushing this gaming button, and this show is now game over. See ya. Till next time.
So slick a neon bright, old freaky gamer plays all night. Joystick in one hand, fries in the other. He's the king of one more level, brother. Press start, he's in the zone. His throne's a squeaky chair alone. Old freaky gamer.
Game over.